The call came at 2:17 p.m., mid-meeting, mid-sentence, mid-life. My daughter's number flashed on the screen, but the voice wasn't hers. It was trembling, thin. "Dad, please don't get mad." I froze. Those 6 words always mean the world shifts a few inches beneath your feet. I heard breathing first, hers shaky and uneven. Then the low hum of traffic behind her. Then a pause so long I tasted metal in my mouth. He shoved me. I didn't ask who. I didn't need to. Her mother's new boy toy, the 26-year-old with more tattoos than discipline, more ego than income. I kept my voice level. "How hard?" Silence. Then a whisper. "He slapped me too, and he said, you're just a fat old man, that you can't stop him." Old, fat, man. I'd heard worse from men I buried in the desert, but hearing it from the lips of someone who hit my child, it wasn't insult. It was invitation. Something cold slid into my chest, heavy and familiar. A feeling I spent 10 years beating out of recruits who thought hand-to-hand combat was a game. Before I could respond, she added, "Mom laughed." The line didn't go dead. It felt dead. My pulse didn't rise. My breathing didn't change. Everything inside me simply narrowed. A tunnel, a target, a decision. By the time she finished telling me he'd been bragging about it at his gym, I was already in my truck, already driving, already choosing the version of myself I tried never to wake. The instructor, the one they warned recruits about, the one who never raised his voice, because he didn't need to. And as I pulled up to the glass-front MMA gym, I realized something simple. I wasn't mad. I was ready. The smell inside the gym was blood, rubber mats, and male insecurity. 3 fighters were sparring. A coach leaned against a cage wall like he owned gravity. The boyfriend, muscles inflated more by pride than protein, grinned when he saw me. "That your dad?" one of them muttered. "Nah," the boyfriend said. "That's the fat old man." I just nodded. No reaction. Reacting gives away intention. His coach strutted toward me, laughing. "What are you gonna do, Grandpa?" The word rolled off me like sweat. I'd been called worse by better men. I looked him in the eyes. "I'm here," I said quietly, "to correct a mistake." They laughed. All of them. I let them. Because laughter lowers guard. Because mockery blinds. Because confidence kills. Still, this wasn't the betrayal I couldn't stomach. The real wound came 2 hours later, after the ER visits, after the police half-heartedly asked questions they already knew the answers to, after the boyfriend cried into a towel like a child whose toy had been taken away. It came when my ex-wife texted, "You exaggerated," she said. "You're blowing it out of proportion." My daughter, defending him? Or defending the version of herself she needed him to validate? I sat in my truck and stared at that message until my vision blurred. Not anger, not hurt, recognition. This wasn't about a slap. This was about something older, deeper, rooted in the years I spent sacrificing everything while she built a life I was no longer invited into. And underneath it all, something colder whispered, "They think they can rewrite the story without me." They were wrong. I started seeing patterns, quiet ones. The boyfriend had access to my daughter's accounts. Her spending had changed, her tone, her distance. It wasn't abuse, not the obvious kind. It was grooming, control through validation, dependence disguised as affection. I didn't need violence now. I needed truth. So I did what the teams taught me. I observed phone records, patterns in call times, withdrawals from my daughter's account that didn't match her habits, gym membership charges in her name, a loan application she didn't remember signing. And her mother, my ex, was tangled in it too. Co-signed documents, shared contact info, 2 signatures with the same pen pressure but different names. A scheme, a quiet one. One designed to look like my daughter was bleeding herself dry. She wasn't. They were bleeding her. I spent nights piecing it together, line by line, transaction by transaction, never confronting, never hinting, just letting the truth sharpen itself like a blade cooling in ice water. And the more I uncovered, the quieter I became. Quiet men scare people, especially when they're right. The proof arrived wrapped in legal ribbon, bank statements, loan docs, forged signatures, enough to sink the boyfriend, my ex, and her parasitic schemes for years. I printed everything, one copy. I met my daughter in a quiet cafe. She came defensive, arms folded, eyes tired. I didn't lecture, didn't accuse, didn't mention the slap, the shove, the insult. I simply slid the folder across the table. Open it. She flipped the first page, then the second. Her breath hitched on the third. When she reached the forged documents with her name, she stopped breathing altogether. "Mom, did this?" she whispered. "And him," I said. Her face broke, not in tears, but in realization. The kind that doesn't heal, the kind that scars. She looked at me like she was seeing me for the first time. "Dad, I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting that." But I didn't need it either. My ex called 3 hours later, not to apologize, to negotiate. She wanted me quiet, wanted the documents back, wanted to explain how misunderstood everything was. I let her talk herself in circles. When she finally gasped for air, I said, "No, just that." Then I forwarded everything, to the bank, to the loan office, to the family lawyer she thought she owned. The silence on the line cracked like ice. "Do you think you're ruining me?" she whispered. "No," I said. "I think you did that yourself." I hung up, blocked her. The boyfriend tried to show up at my work with his brother and 2 others. They left quickly. Apparently, ICU teaches humility. My daughter came over tonight. She said she's cutting ties, starting fresh. She asked how I stayed so calm. I told her the truth. When someone shows you their nature, believe them. And when they try to take your peace, take theirs instead. She hugged me. I didn't cry. I don't do tears anymore. After she left, I sat alone in the quiet. Not victorious, not vengeful, simply done. People think the opposite of love is hate. It isn't. It's nothing. And tonight, for the first time in years, I feel nothing at all.